Hello everyone and welcome to Metagame Mastery, coming to you today with Dominaria previews and how they impact the metagame. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Without further ado, big time! Go time! Let's go! First up, get ready to rework your mana bases as enemy color checklands are reintroduced into Standard. Originally released in Innistrad block, these checklands actually carry quite a bit of value as is. They will functionally replace the Kaladesh Fastland. So if you've been holding on to extras of those, sell them off now while they still hold value. Not only are they rotating out this fall, but the demand for them will go down with these enemy colored checklands. More exciting, going into next year's Standard, we will have a full cycle of 10 color combination checklands to work our mana bases with. Very exciting and very interesting. These checklands have been re-engineered to embrace the flavor of Dominaria, as you can see with Clifftop Retreat, as well as Hinterland Harbor with amazing flavor text. Isolated Chapel, also looking fantastic. Sulphur Falls. This one is going to be very valuable in the fact that red and blue are very strong in the current Standard meta. And Woodland Cemetery. Right of Belzenlock is 4 CMC, 2 colorless black for an enchantment saga. On the first 2 lore counters, you create 2/0/1 black cleric creature tokens. On its third lore counter, you create a 6/6 black demon creature token with flying, trample, and at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice another creature. If you can't, this creature deals 6 damage to you. So, first off, it creates value by giving you 4 creatures to be sacrificed, and then it gives you an absolute bomb token on curve while you still have your mana up to play another bomb same turn. This thing's going to be awesome in Limited. And notice that even though you may not be able to hold on to those clerics for whatever reason, your opponents may be able to destroy them or force you to chump block with them. This only deals 6 damage to you. It does not tap itself. It does not sacrifice itself. So you're still going to get that 6/6 flying, trampling beast body that you don't have to tap any additional mana the turn it comes into play. That's very solid. Blessed Light is 5 CMC, 4 colorless, and white for an instant. Exile target creature or enchantment. Unconditional exile, not only for creatures, but sagas and at instant speed. This card is going to be first pickable in Limited. Just exactly what you want. Joshu Vest, Lich Knight, is 4 CMC, 2 colorless, black for a 4/5 legendary zombie knight with menace. Stop right there. That's great value. Moving on. He also has Kicker, 5 colorless and a black, and when he enters the battlefield, if he was kicked, create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace. Holy crap, he's an army in a can. This guy is like a combination of Army of the Damned and Grave Titan. What a beast body. First off, just playing him unkicked, there's so much value there. He's above the vanilla test. But on top of that, if you can kick this guy, he's just basically going to win you the game, putting a total of 22 power and toughness, or 22 power on the board, 23 toughness, with menace across 9 bodies on the battlefield off of 1 card. Very, very powerful. Not to mention the relevant creature types playing very well with the Knight Tribal theme in Limited. This guy is a beast. He's also going to play well with Fennelish Marshal. He is the white devotion creature. He's 3 CMC, white, 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 for a 3/3 human knight. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. I imagine all those tokens will really appreciate these Anthem effects. And here we have the black devotion card. It's 3 CMC, black, 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 for a 3/3 shade. And you can pay 1 black. He gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This is potentially very powerful, especially if you can get him out early. Just on curve, he's a 3/3 for 3. Solid. But being able to pump him up on turn 4 with land drop to a 7/7 is going to give you a lot of control when it comes to board presence. This guy's an absolute beast early game, and he's effective for you late game, which is exactly what you're looking for in Limited. I don't foresee him seeing much play outside of Limited. Typically, shades tend to be too mana intensive. It winds up keeping you from playing on curve in order to play them effectively. But in Limited, this guy's first pickable for sure. Cobble Stronghold is a land that taps for 1 colorless mana. You can pay 3 colorless mana, tap it, and add 1 black for each basic swamp you control. So it's basically a fixed Cobble Coffers. It doesn't enter the battlefield tapped, and you can get value off of it just tapping it for colorless mana. But once you have 5 swamps in play, this starts generating additional mana for you every single land drop. So that's going to be really cool. See if a mono black devotion deck comes out of these awesome mono black cards. Speaking of which, we have Final Parting. It's 5 CMC, 3 colorless, black, black for a sorcery. Search your library for 2 cards. Put 1 into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Then shuffle your library. Really good card for purposes of Limited, just being able to tutor for whatever you need and fill your graveyard. That interacts well with reanimation strategies. It also gives you the option to hit Gaia's Blessing, which is 2 CMC, 1 colorless, and a green for a sorcery. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. Draw a card. When Gaia's Blessing is put into your graveyard from your library, shuffle your graveyard into your library. So a neat trick you could do, not just to populate your graveyard with reanimation targets, is if for whatever reason your deck is running low, your opponent tries to mill you, anything along those lines, you can tutor out your Gaia's Blessing, put it directly into your graveyard, and shuffle your graveyard back into your deck. Arcane Flight is 1 blue mana for an enchant aura. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. This is just a funny card. If you look at the picture and the flavor text, it's just an absolute crack up. Academy Journey Mage is 5 CMC, 4 colorless and a blue for a 3/2 human wizard. It costs 1 colorless less to cast if you control a wizard. And when Academy Journey Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So it's a mana war type effect. These things are always super solid and Limited. The fact that you can play it for 4 if you control a wizard makes it better in wizard tribal strategies, but it's just going to be solid no matter what you're playing. Antiquities War is 4 CMC, 3 colorless, and a blue for an enchantment saga. On the first 2 lore counters, you look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. On the 3rd lore counter, artifacts you control become artifact creatures with base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn. This is going to be an absolute finisher in the Artifacts Matters decks in Limited. If you're going to be playing that strategy, this is your win condition. It's a very solid card. Outside of that, I think it's a little bit slow, and you have to really be worried about all the enchantment hate because there's quite a bit of it in this format. If you're putting all your eggs in this one basket, it's going to wind up biting you in the butt more often than not. But if you're just playing this for additional value and a very solid artifact build and limited, then yeah, absolutely. This is going to be an absolutely awesome card. Tempest Jin is your blue devotion creature. It's blue, blue, blue for a 0/4 flying Jin. And he gets +1/+0 for each basic island you control. So just like the Shade, this guy is a solid blocker early, potentially coming down as a 3/4 flyer for 3 is passes the vanilla test, and then on top of that, he gets even stronger for you as the game progresses. This is a very solid card, especially in limited. Zuko Umezawa Fugitive is 2 CMC, 1 colorless and blue for a 1/3 legendary human rogue. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. Hello, Zuko. Edric likes you a lot. This is great for strategies where you're running a ton of tiny creatures. Specifically, Edric, Spymaster of Trust, and Commander and EDH is going to get along with this card perfectly. Evra, Halcyon Witness is 6 CMC, 4 colorless, white, white for a 4/4 legendary avatar with lifelink. You can pay 4 mana and exchange your life total with Evra Halcyon Witness's power. What a gamble. Just right out the gate. What a gamble. So the idea is you attack in with Evra as a 4/4, and then if she gets through unblocked before damage is applied, you pay 4 mana, switch your life total with her power. Your life total becomes 4, but then when damage is applied via the lifelink, you gain that much life back. And then if for whatever reason that doesn't kill off your opponent immediately, you say you're in a multiplayer game, for example, you can continue gaining life off of that, gaining that amount of life every single turn. That all sounds fantastic. It's potentially a very powerful finisher, akin to Sarah's Avatar from back in the day, which is part of a ton of first turn kill combos. Look at Sneak and Show is a perfect example. But it's also super dangerous because if anything happens to her power before this ability resolves, then you could wind up instantly killing yourself. Specifically, there is a card in this set that gives a creature -4, -0. If they play that in response to you activating this ability, you instantly kill yourself. So be very careful. It's got a lot of potential upside, but it's also very, very risky. Land of War Scout is 2 CMC, 1 colorless and a green for a 1/3 Elf Scout. You can tap him and put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. This is actually really cool because what it does is it's mana ramp that survives removal and board wipes. It also plays very well with Multani. Yavameya's avatar is 6 CMC, 4 colorless, green, green for a 0/0 legendary elemental avatar with reach and trample. Multani Yavameya's avatar gets +1/+1 for each land card you control and each land card in your graveyard. You can also pay 1 colorless and a green, return 2 land cards you control to their owner's hand, return Multani from your graveyard to your hand. So, this guy is a payoff for your landfall type strategies. If you're ramping out tons of land, this guy gets real big real fast. He plays very well with fetch lands, which will populate your graveyard and produce a land on the battlefield, allowing him to race far beyond curve. Aside from that, he's a big dumb creature. He does have 2 keywords, but he's pretty much vanilla. The cool thing about him is he's a 0/0 based off of the lands you have in play, that survives cards like Armageddon because he also gets power and toughness based off of land cards in your graveyard. So that is cool. That said, he's a big dumb creature, absolute bomb in limited. I don't see him seeing play in any other formats. Skirk Prospector is back in Standard. It's 1 red mana for a 1/1 goblin. You can sacrifice goblin to add 1 red mana. Alone, he's a mana battery for red, just getting that first turn mana ramp. If you're playing a goblin tribal strategy, this allows you to combo off and get absolutely nuts. This guy is going to be awesome. I heard somebody recently say, "Oh, there's just because they're reprinting Land of War Elves doesn't mean they're necessarily speeding up Standard." Yeah, Skirk Prospector shows that they're speeding up Standard real fast. Marwyn the Nurturer is 3 CMC, 2 colorless and a green for a 1/1 legendary elf druid. Whenever an elf enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Marwyn the Nurturer. You can tap her and add an amount of green equal to her power to your mana pool. So, first impression is that she is an Elvish Vanguard and a Viridian Joiner stapled together, both of which are solid cards in EDH Elf Ball. She's a creature that taps for potentially more than 1 mana, and rewards you for basically doing what Elf Tribal does anyways, which is pumping up your entire battlefield. She's going to work particularly well with Umbral Mantle, which is 3 colorless mana for artifact equipment. Equip costs 0. Equipped creature has 3 colorless. Untap. This creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, allowing her to go infinite instantly. Very powerful. Of course, she's going to work very well with cards that already go infinite with creatures that tap for multiple mana, like Staff of Domination and Sword of Palrons. In Standard, this gets particularly nuts with Paradox Engine, allowing you to tap your mana dorks to cast another creature card, and with Lifecrafter's Bestiary, you can even pay an extra green mana to draw a card to replace it. Then you untap all your mana dorks, including her, and you'll be able to repeat this process until eventually you hit a bunch of land cards. This will flood your board super fast, making it potentially very dangerous in Standard and Brawl. Primeval's Glorious Rebirth is 7 CMC, 5 colorless, white-black, legendary sorcery. Return all legendary permanent cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that's cool. This card is going to be an absolute bomb for you in limited. If you're drafting into a Historic Matter stack with lots of legendary creatures, this is going to be an awesome finisher for you. A lot of people are looking at this as a potential card for Commander, and that's fine. I think it'll do fine in Commander, but where it'll really shine is Brawl, specifically in Joda Archmage Eternal 5-color legendary deck. It's going to be a super powerful finisher as you run all of the legends in your deck and then bring them back all at one time. Mega powerful. It also could be the best possible card for you to run in an Arvad the Cursed Brawl deck if someone's looking to put that together. Could be much more consistent and much easier to put together its mana base. More limited though, less flashy, but consistent. It also plays well with Torgar Famine Incarnate. He's 8 CMC, 6 colorless, black, black for a 7/6 legendary avatar. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 colorless less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. When Torgar, Famine Incarnate, enters the battlefield, up to one target player's life total becomes half their starting life total rounded down. Okay, that's abusable, and the fact that it's up to one target player means that you don't actually have to target someone if for whatever reason your opponent's already at less than their half their starting life total. So it's very flexible, but the cool thing about this is you can get this guy out early in the right type of strategy. Say you're running a bunch of tokens, like, I don't know, saplings. You could go ahead and get this guy out as early as turn 3 or 4, getting a 7/6 beater and knocking down your opponent's life total in the process. If for whatever reason you're playing from behind and you need to get some life gain to get you back in the game, this guy can set you back up to 10 life or 20 life if you're in EDH. It's also repeatable in multiplayer games by flickering him or just letting him die and reanimating him, bringing him back onto the battlefield. What's cool is that if you run him as, say, your commander in EDH or Brawl, his ability applies to commander tax as well, allowing you to consistently replay him over and over again for only 2 black mana. That's absolutely abusable. Overall, this is a very cool card. Very reminiscent of Avatar of Woe with a little bit of Sorin mixed in there. That's a good combination. I don't know if it's necessarily going to crack standard play or if it's even going to see play in a lot of EDH decks. But in Limited and in Brawl, this guy's a beastie. I like him a lot. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. This has been Metagame Mastery. Peace!